I just saying I wanna cover real quick. I wanna cover Tszyu versus Bakram Murtazaliev. I had it earlier. Yeah, I had it earlier.
Say it one more time.
Murtazaliev. Murtazaliev.
Yeah.
I got a couple days before I gotta hit it.
Oh, you're calling the fight, so you gotta get this shit right.
I gotta get it right. Yeah. I can
What
just call it
network are you
Bakram.
calling it for, Sean?
Fox Australia.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Hey. Are you like a citizen over there or something? You got an accent for us?
I don't have an accent for you.
Okay, all right.
They're working on getting me citizenship, so
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Is that a lie or is that the truth? Oh,
it don't even matter.
Bro.
It don't even matter. Hey, Zittel, break it down.
Well, I think Bakram, maybe a little bit of a poor man's or a middle class man's, right? We won't say poor man's. The man's a world champion. Sergey Kovalev is one of the fighters. He reminds me a little bit of.
I can see that.
Yeah. Long arm guy, lanky guy for his weight class, and the power. We'll see how real it is because in some of these fights on tape, these guys are getting zapped by his right hand and falling flat on their back. So he's definitely got some pop. Ultimately, defensively, I don't see a whole lot there defensively outside of his offense and keeping you on the end of his punches being the defense. And he's not, I think he is the weakest of the champions at 154. This is a loaded division. And I think Tszyu's getting his hands on the most beatable of the title holders. And he's not a master of distance control the way we just saw two Russian fighters in Beterbiev and Bivol. He's very good if he can keep you on the end of his shots, but he's not able to dominate you and keep you in range there at will the way Bivol and Beterbiev are. He had a very tough fight with Jack Kolke, and Jack Kolke is a tough veteran. He is, and he wound up stopping him to his credit. But he was almost going life and death there with him a little bit, getting caught quite a bit, and his form deteriorated as the fight went on. It wasn't, even by the time he got the stoppage, it wasn't as sharp as how he started the fight. Tszyu should win the fight. Tszyu has more in his bag. He's a sharper puncher, a more compact puncher. Sharper meaning faster hands, a little bit more snap on each shot. He's got a little bit more life in his upper body. Tszyu's been developing some very nice pull counters. It's a fight. Murtazaliev will be there, and he is a threat. But Tszyu, who's pretty good, is getting the weakest of the title holders. He should be able to handle his business.
I agree. I hate calling fighters weak, but he would be considered the weakest link.
Relatively speaking. He'll kick
Absolutely.
the shit out of me.
It probably would, and not me, but you.
You're retired. Let it go, bro. You're retired. 154.
I have to mimic everything that Zittel just said, and then I'm gonna come to you with something else. I think that he beats Murtazaliev because he's the cleaner fighter. And I think that Murtazaliev is very, very limited once you get past the 1 and the 2. He has a hook. Yes, he can go to the body. But from what I've seen, he's not a rhythm guy where he's able to just find it and do it. He's very systematic, very robotic in terms of his nature in the ring. And for Tszyu, who has, as we like to say, a bigger bag, he can do more things, and that leads to him winning this fight. I don't think it's gonna be an easy fight, especially not in the beginning. But I do expect Tim to start to lead off, probably around that 300-meter and finish the race by himself against Murtazaliev. All that being said, though, Antt, we had a really big fight between Tszyu and Fundora. Was that late last year?
That was March of this year.
That was March of this year. And you wanted the rematch, and speak on it.
Yeah, I mean, I think we got a war. Some people say the blood kind of messed up the fight. It was a very entertaining fight. If you look past the blood, because some people couldn't see past the blood, I thought it was one of the best fights of the year. It's up there for fight of the year. And I just believe in rematches. I feel like the PBC don't believe in rematches as much as Anthony do. But I believe in rematches. Or otherwise, or they setting up a Fundora Crawford and then this fight, and then they fight for would it be undisputed at that point?
No, Fundora right now has the WBO and the WBC, and this would be for the IBF. So they'd still be missing the WBA title that Crawford won. Well, I get what you're saying. You're playing out a scenario where Crawford does fight Fundora, and then Crawford and Tszyu fight Fundora. I got you.
Yeah,
yes,
this is a mini tournament. Yes. So if we setting up that, then I'm okay with it. But otherwise, it's just like I do not understand how Fundora's fighting possibly, I don't know, Earl Spence, Terrence Crawford, and not fighting Tim Tszyu in a rematch, unless we're making up something down the road. But I guess that's boxing for you. You never get what you want. It's like the day that never come back.
Yeah. I felt like in some ways Fundora squeaked through with the win. The fight looked like it was gonna go one way and be one way until it could happen. But the other thing that I did see, to Fundora's credit and also to critique Tim Tszyu, Tim didn't look like he knew what to do against a guy that's 6'5", 6'6", wherever the hell, 6'8", whatever the hell Fundora is. And Fundora figured out working behind the jab was going to work for that fight, and ultimately ended up doing that, and he was able to get through. I'm hearing more Errol Spence versus Fundora than I'm hearing Fundora versus Crawford. No surprise there for me.
Yeah, I think that fight is officially not happening.
Crawford versus Fundora.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. I told some people that needed to know that fight wasn't going to happen. You're not in the family. You're not. Even though you took out a couple of our guys, we still, we don't respect you enough, and we don't love you enough to put you in the ring against anybody if we don't have to. And in this case, we don't have to. So I think Crawford's going to be on ice until he figures out what he wants to do. And we'll see what that ends up being. This fight this weekend, I think, is going to be really good. Live on Prime, the first free fight on Prime. Coming Saturday night.
Tszyu was the first pay-per-view Prime and the first free Prime card.
There you go.
Doing big things.
And still staying busy, a guy of his status, we see once a year. So he's we probably see him 2, if not 3 times next year, if he's unscathed through everything that he goes through